Welcome back, everyone, to Let's Communicate, issues that affect family life. I'm Paul Spyhalla. Again, our special guest today is Randy Nathan. Randy, again, thank you very much for joining us today. We just finished talking a little bit about Project Pride. There's also the LEAP program. What is the LEAP program?
Thank you, Paul, so much for asking about it. It is literally my pride and joy. It is 20 years of working with youth. It is something that has really been in the process since I was originally certified as a high school teacher. And all my youth work and all my work in camps, in camp communities, up until now as a life coach. It is called LEAP, Lead, Excel, Act, Persevere. It is basically a youth empowerment program designed for anybody, any kid, young, old, medium, that really wants to make better choices, increase their confidence, and overcome challenges they face on a daily basis.
How do you come up with the idea for developing either a Project Pride or a LEAP program or any of the other topics that you come up with? Where do the ideas come from that you see a need for a particular program?
Sure. Partly based on my experience of working as a teacher and educator, as a camp director and youth worker. That's your Project Pride and my bully programs, my leadership program. LEAP came from a little different source. I've spent the last year, about a year and a half ago, I left a 15-year career to open up my business, as I said, and I did a lot of one-on-one work with kids. I saw about 40, 45 clients over the course of the year, and what I've discovered is that coaching is very, very powerful, and there needs to be an entree, an avenue to be with more kids, and one way of doing is creating this group coaching process. So the LEAP program, although I can do it one-on-one, is really designed for small groups of 12 to 15 kids, meeting once a week for an hour and a half over a 6-week period that really goes through a very fun, creative, self-reflective process to help them, again, make better choices about school, family, and their future in college, help them feel more confident, increase their self-esteem, avoid the pitfalls that happens when it comes to peer pressure, and really unlock their true potential. And so this is a group coaching format. So this way, over the course of the next year, and we expect this to really grow, not just here within New Jersey, but throughout the tri-state national area, that I can really impact and directly connect with hundreds, if not thousands, of kids over the course of the year.
How do you get the kids to open up? Sometimes it seems to me, just as an outsider, that kids just don't really communicate. Although, it's funny, as you mentioned with the cell phone, they communicate with 17 different people, but they don't talk to people anymore. Well, how do you get them to open up, especially through like a 6-week program that you mentioned?
Well, the program is designed to really be self-reflective, and it's not necessarily for everybody. And when we originally start out, we talk about the preconceived ideas and fears. We let them know that what they're feeling is completely natural. And I've been fortunate, I think, I was blessed with the ability to connect with kids. Just like the pitcher in the ball field who's able to throw 96 miles an hour because that was just necessarily their talent, their gift, I came to discover what my true passion, my true gifts are, and getting a chance to meet kids is really, it's just part of my nature. It's really second nature to me. My friends don't understand it, my wife thinks it's incredible, but I get down and dirty. I know their talk, I know the language, I know the music. I try to stay in touch as much as I can. I know that they'll stay in school and talk and communicate, but they'll come rushing home to go on the instant message to instant message, and they always have access to text messaging. So it's really an appreciation for who they are. I know that when I work with kids and teens, that they really are an expert on their life. I don't necessarily tell them, as a coach, I will not tell them what to do. I don't give them my advice, I don't give them suggestions or my opinion. I offer ideas, and they have choice. And when they understand that they really are the individual and I believe in them 100% unbiased, unconditional, it's really a powerful connection I can develop with kids.
Are they skeptical at first?
Absolutely. Because the way our society and culture is, especially for those kids who've gone through therapy or now some kind of counseling, when it comes to coaching, that's the only thing that's common to them. Or because we're also very, very not likely to ask for help. Kids don't want to think that we come from a point of helping is negative. Or weak. And coaching is not about negativity. Coaching is not about weakness. Actually, coaching is about strength because you look about opportunities for growth. And once you go through a coaching experience, it's very interactive, and it's not about going into the past and fixing the past. It's about staying focused on the present and where do you want to go in the future and how can we get there. It's very, very empowering, and they have the choice. Sometimes when I work with kids and the parent wants me to focus on homework and grades, that's not where their head is. And I tell parents, if they're more concerned right now about their social and their peer network, that's where we need to focus on because that's where their confidence is going to come from. Once they feel confident in that arena, they'll be ready to tackle anything on in their life.
Interesting that you mentioned when you go into a school, do you only work with the students, or do you also try to work with the teachers and parents? How do you approach those three different groups?
Well, in an ideal situation, I love working with students, I love working with faculty, I love working with the parents, because I think it's all about a community, and the support that we provide our kids is in a community network. So when I'm called into a school, and again, some schools have the budget, but really it's not necessarily matter about the money for me. If I have an opportunity to go in to work with students and the faculty and the parents, it is a comprehensive, it's an integrative approach. If I throw out topics like there are no mistakes, there are no accidents, there is no failure. And if I talk about that in the context of choice with students, and they get it, but they go home, and they say, wow, there's this crazy motivational speaker today, and he says, guess what, Mom? There are no mistakes. And their mom says, are you crazy? Of course there are mistakes. Then the message is just defeated.
It stops at that point.
It stops right there. Because reality, when you come from a coaching perspective and the fact that life is a journey, not a destination, what goes on is all part of your life experience to allow you to be who you are today. And you take that experience to move it forward.
Now, we talked about that also it's helpful to deal with the teachers. Recently, you were at the New Jersey Teachers Convention.
Yes, I was.
What experience did you have there?
I had a great experience. It's great being around so many educators, reminiscent of when I was an educator myself and I was teaching. It's a great energy, a lot of young teachers out there, which is great, knowing that we have a lot of young teachers who are very committed, very passionate, and very motivated about what they do with their kids. I did 2 workshops. One was Project Pride, the transition program, which is designed for faculty as well. And then I did one called LEAP, which is Leap into Excellent Leadership for teachers. So it was a very positive, very powerful experience.
Obviously, we can't go back and change what you were, but do you feel that being a teacher has helped you now in this?
Oh, absolutely. Everything in my life has led up to who I am today. I used to subscribe to, I made mistakes. I made a mistake here, I made a mistake here. But when I came across coaching and I went through the coaching process and realized that I wouldn't be who I am today, I wouldn't be Coach Randy, had it not been for every life experience I had, starting with what I thought was at one point the biggest mistake I made in December of 1983. I needed that experience to put me where I am. So it's taken a lot of time, and coaching has allowed me to realize that had I not had these life experiences, Coach Randy and who I am and my desire, my passion, I wouldn't be who I am. So I appreciate it and I hug it, and I now embrace it with a lot of pride.
Earlier you gave us a good definition of coaching. What is the need to have a coach involved with children at a school on a regular basis?
Sure. Where I come from, my mission is to introduce coaching to the world of adolescence. I host international special interest group through the International Coaching Federation for coaches who work specifically with teen and adolescents throughout the country, actually throughout the world, and it's a small group right now. There are not enough of us, and coaching is a skill set like anything else of how we work with kids. And working with schools, working with social workers, working with guidance counselors, we run parallel. We're very supportive with each other because my approach is not necessarily about going in the past and fixing about dysfunction. It's helping identify opportunities. And I've worked with kids in schools who are going through therapy and are going through the process of helping out with the dysfunction, but they're also understanding that they need to move forward here in the future. So it's a very symbiotic relationship.
Obviously, there are the teachers, there are counselors in the schools, but will coaching, can it fill in the gaps that to help the student again make those choices?
Well, part of the LEAP program is really about filling in some of those gaps. Having a family with educators. My father's a teacher for over 35 years. My wife's a 3rd grade teacher. My mother-in-law is a school social worker in Newark. The expectations, the pressures are very, very high and very, very significant. And it's hard to get everything done. Programs like the LEAP program is really designed to help fill in those gaps because you have all the tests, you have to prepare for the SATs, and you have to make sure you have a particular grade in the reading and the writing and arithmetic, and the huge focus on a bulk of the students is really there. The LEAP program kind of helps get out of your left side and the logic and linear and help kids get in the right side and understand that the left brain is no longer sufficient and that the right brain is really needed to succeed in the future. And coaching focuses on the gray. We focus on the big picture. We allow kids to understand that life is important regarding grades, but there's also more to life than just grades. And what do you want to be and where do you want to go and what's your purpose and meaning in life?
Randy, is there a phone number or a website address where people can contact you for more information?
Yes, thank you for asking. My website is www.ypcoach.com. My office number is 973-736-6558. And my email address is coachrandy@ypcoach.com.
And if you missed that, that information will appear again later at the end of our program, so you'll have another chance to get that information. Randy, we're almost out of time. We started by talking about the power of choice. Talk to us a little bit more about making choices and about, I guess, building confidence. If you could build everybody's confidence, I think the world would be in much better shape. Talk to us a little bit about choice and confidence. Choice and confidence.
Well, they really go hand in hand, because the more positive choices you make you feel better, the more confidence you're going to have. And a lot of times teens find themselves making wrong choices. When I come and talk to kids about choice, I break it down into 5 specific words. One is confidence. When it comes to facing a choice, you have to have confidence. I can do this. But not only that, is it right for me, not necessarily for someone else? Because when we have to make a choice, there's 3 things that happen. We have a thought that creates a feeling, that creates an action. And it kind of just keeps going around in a circle each time. So when you have that sense of confidence, you're making choices that you know are right choices, then it's going to make you feel better and you're much more confident. The H stands for humor, that we often experience things in life that are very, very funny. And if it's not funny, is there irony? And especially high school kids, sometimes they make the choice not to be completely honest with their parent, and they go off and they do something that causes them to be in a bad situation. And when doing so, they're later put in another choice situation that had they not made the first statement to begin with, so there's irony. The next is opportunity, that all choices create opportunities. The more opportunities, the right opportunities, the more confidence you're going to get. And then we also talk about commitment to their value system. Who am I as a person? We talk about integrity. And in coaching, we have 2 things. We have a gremlin, which is the voice inside ourselves that says, I'm not good enough. And we also have our inner voice that speaks not quite as loudly, and we know what's right for us. And sometimes that gremlin speaks much louder than our inner voice. And finally, an element of encouragement and courage to make the right choice. And the support system you set up around you to help you really overcome whatever choice you're making. That even though you might make the wrong choice, you have a support system behind you that lets you make those choices so you can learn and grow.
Randy, Nathan, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
It was a very interesting experience.
Thank you so much.
Hopefully we can see you again sometime soon.
I hope so very much, Paul. Thank you.
Thank you again for being with us, and thank you for being with us today here on Let's Communicate, Issues That Affect Family Life. As always, we are a presentation of the West Orange Municipal Alliance. We thank you very much for being with us today. Please join us again. I'm Paul Spyhalla. Good night, everyone.